Rain begins to fall above the Las Vegas Strip. Tourists laugh beneath glowing casino lights, unaware that only a few feet below them, a mother is shaking her sleeping children awake. She doesn't have time to explain. She only knows that if the storm grows stronger, the concrete tunnel they call home could become a river in minutes. In the city where fortunes change overnight, some families are not trying to win millions. They are simply trying to survive until morning. Welcome to Homeless in America. Las Vegas is known around the world as the city of dazzling lights, endless entertainment, and impossible dreams. Every year, more than 40 million visitors arrive hoping to experience the excitement of the famous Strip, where luxury hotels stretch toward the desert sky and billions of dollars flow through casinos, restaurants, and concerts. From the outside, it is a place built on celebrating a destination that promises escape from everyday life. But beneath that celebration lies another Las Vegas that almost no visitor ever sees. Hidden below the neon lights is a vast network of concrete storm tunnels designed to protect the city from sudden desert floods. They were never built for people. They were built for water.
Yet for hundreds of men, women, and sometimes entire families, these tunnels have become the closest thing they have to a home. Mattresses rest against damp concrete walls. Children's backpacks hang beside flashlights and bottled water. Every possession must be packed so it can be carried away within seconds if rain begins to fall. This is not simply a story about people living underground. This is a story about how one of America's most prosperous tourism economies can still leave working parents, veterans, seniors, and children searching for safety beneath the streets.
It is about rising housing costs, fragile paychecks, medical emergencies, and unexpected setbacks that can pull ordinary lives into extraordinary hardship. They are not hidden because they want to disappear. They are hidden because there is nowhere else left that feels safe. Today, we'll journey beneath the brightest skyline in Nevada to understand the lives unfolding in its darkest shadows. We'll hear how families navigate each day, why escaping homelessness is far more complicated than simply finding a job, and how dedicated outreach workers are proving that dignity, trust, and compassion can become the first steps toward a permanent home. If these stories move you, subscribe now. Together, we can help ensure that the people living beneath the lights are no longer invisible. Part 1. Beneath the Neon, the hidden underground crisis of Las Vegas. Las Vegas has always been a city built on contrasts. Towering resorts promise luxury without limits, while only blocks away, many residents struggle to afford a place to live. Every night, thousands of hotel rooms sit ready for visitors willing to pay hundreds of dollars for a single evening. Yet across the valley, more than 8,000 people experience homelessness, and an increasing number of them are families, seniors, veterans, and workers whose paychecks simply cannot keep pace with the cost of housing.
For many people, homelessness in Las Vegas doesn't begin with a single bad decision. It begins with a rent increase that arrives before the next paycheck. It begins with an unexpected medical bill, the loss of reliable childcare, or a workplace injury that keeps someone from earning a steady income. What appears to be one setback often becomes a chain reaction that pushes ordinary families toward impossible choices. That reality has given new meaning to a piece of infrastructure few tourists ever notice. Stretching for more than 700 miles beneath southern Nevada, the region's flood control tunnel system was engineered to move stormwater safely through the city. It was never intended to shelter human beings. Yet for people with nowhere else to go, the tunnels offer something the streets often cannot: a place hidden from the relentless desert heat, constant displacement,
and the fear of having every possession taken overnight. But even that fragile sense of security is built on borrowed time. A tunnel may remain dry for weeks or even months, then transform into a violent river within minutes when a desert thunderstorm rolls across the valley. Families who have carefully organized their belongings know they may have only seconds to escape before floodwaters rush through the darkness.
Every evening, survival depends not only on finding food or water, but also on watching the weather. This is not merely a housing shortage. It is a system where the distance between stability and homelessness can be as short as one missed paycheck, and where, beneath one of the brightest skylines in America, an underground world continues to grow in the shadows. Part 2. Beyond the tunnels, the unforgiving cycle of homelessness. To understand why families end up living beneath Las Vegas, we must look beyond the tunnels themselves. The concrete walls are not the beginning of the story. They are the final stop in a long chain of setbacks that slowly closes every other door.
It is easy to assume that everyone living underground made reckless choices, but that assumption overlooks a far more complicated reality. Many tunnel residents once held steady jobs, paid rent on time, and believed they were building stable lives. Some worked in casinos, restaurants, construction, or hospitality, the very industries that help power Las Vegas's booming economy. Then came an injury, a layoff, a divorce, rising rent, or a medical emergency. One crisis became another until the savings were gone and the eviction notice arrived. They are not people who stopped trying. They are people trapped inside a system where recovering costs more than falling.
Without affordable housing, every paycheck disappears into temporary motel rooms, storage fees, transportation, or daily necessities. When that money runs out, surviving each day becomes the only priority. Searching for permanent housing becomes almost impossible when every morning begins with finding drinking water, charging a phone, or protecting the few belongings that remain.
The cycle grows even tighter. Without a permanent address, job applications become harder. Without stable employment, landlords hesitate to approve rental applications. Without housing, storing medications, maintaining good health, or simply getting enough sleep becomes another daily struggle. Each barrier reinforces the next, until escaping homelessness feels like climbing a staircase that keeps growing taller. This is not a personal failure. This is a system where one missing piece can bring everything else down. And while the city above celebrates jackpots and luxury vacations, another kind of gamble unfolds below. Families gamble that today will not bring another storm, another eviction from the place they thought was safe, or another obstacle that pushes the dream of returning home even farther away.
Because before we can understand life inside the tunnels, we must first understand the people who wake up there each morning, not as statistics, but as neighbors carrying hopes that look remarkably similar to our own. Part 3. Lives beneath the surface, the daily fight for survival. No one is born with a dream of sleeping beneath a city. No child imagines doing homework by flashlight inside a concrete tunnel. No parent grows up believing that the safest place to tuck their children into bed will one day be beneath millions of tourists walking overhead. Yet for some families in Las Vegas, this has become an ordinary part of life.
Imagine a single mother who once cleaned hotel rooms just a few miles away from the Strip. Every morning, she helped prepare luxury suites for visitors beginning their vacations. Then, childcare costs increased. Her rent climbed again. Missing just a few weeks of work was enough to push her beyond what she could recover. Savings disappeared into motel rooms, then into food and transportation. Eventually, there was nowhere left to go except the storm tunnels hidden beneath the city she helped serve. Her day begins before sunrise. she quietly packs blankets before outreach teams or maintenance crews arrive.
She searches for clean drinking water, charges a phone whenever she finds a public outlet, and visits food distribution sites while trying to keep her children on a normal school schedule. Every decision is carefully planned because one missed opportunity could mean going without a meal or losing contact with a caseworker. As daylight fades, a different kind of anxiety begins. The weather becomes more important than the clock. A dark cloud gathering over the desert can signal more than rain. It can mean another desperate escape. Families sleep lightly, listening for distant thunder, knowing that a sudden flash flood can transform a dry tunnel into a rushing river with little warning.
Many people carry everything they own in a single backpack. Inside are not just clothes or toiletries, but birth certificates, family photographs, medication, children's drawings, and the last fragile pieces of a life they refuse to forget. That backpack is more than luggage. It is a portable home, a filing cabinet, and a memory box carried on tired shoulders every single day. These are not lives defined by the tunnels. They are lives waiting for the chance to begin again. And that raises an even larger question. If the people living underground are working, searching, and hoping, what continues to keep the door back to stable housing locked? That is where our story turns next.
Part 4. Locked Doors and Guiding Lights. Overcoming the Barriers to Home. Escaping homelessness is rarely as simple as finding an empty apartment. For many families living beneath Las Vegas, the hardest part is not the desire to rebuild their lives. It is navigating a system where every step forward depends on a door that cannot be opened without first unlocking another. To rent an apartment, landlords often require proof of income, a permanent address, identification, rental history, and money for deposits. But after months of homelessness, those requirements become barriers instead of stepping stones. Without a stable address, important documents are easily lost or impossible to receive. Replacing an identification card can take weeks, sometimes longer. Without identification, opening a bank account, applying for certain jobs, or signing a lease becomes far more difficult. Even someone fortunate enough to find work may discover that a single paycheck is nowhere near enough to cover application fees, security deposits, utility costs, and the first month's rent. This is not a personal failure. This is a cage built from paperwork, rising housing costs, and circumstances that reinforce one another. The longer someone remains trapped inside that cycle, the harder it becomes to imagine a way out. Yet, even in the deepest shadows beneath Las Vegas, there are people carrying light. Organizations like Shine a Light Foundation walk directly into the storm tunnels, not to judge the people living there, but to know them by name. Their outreach teams bring food, clean water, hygiene supplies, and medical referrals. But perhaps their greatest gift is consistency. Trust is rarely built in a single conversation. It grows through repeated visits, listening without judgment, and reminding people that they have not been forgotten. Alongside them, Help of Southern Nevada works to prevent families from falling even deeper into crisis. Through rental assistance, case management, emergency housing referrals, and long-term stabilization programs, the organization helps thousands of Southern Nevada residents each year move towards safer, more permanent housing. Their work recognizes that solving homelessness is not only about providing a bed for one night, it is about rebuilding stability, one step at a time. Sometimes, the first turning point is surprisingly small. A warm meal becomes a conversation becomes trust. Trust becomes a case file becomes a shelter placement. And for some, that shelter becomes the first doorway leading back to a home. Because every lasting solution begins with one simple decision: to see the person before seeing the problem. Part 5. Into the light, hope, and the journey home. For all the hardship hidden beneath Las Vegas, there is another truth that deserves to be seen. Every year, outreach workers help individuals and families leave the storm tunnels behind. Some reunite with loved ones. Others receive permanent supportive housing after months or even years of living without stability. Many reconnect with healthcare, employment services, or counseling that allows them to begin rebuilding lives they feared were lost forever.
Progress may not always make headlines, but it happens one person, one family, and one act of compassion at a time. That is an important reminder because homelessness is not an identity. It is a circumstance, and circumstances can change when communities choose to respond with understanding instead of judgment. A former tunnel resident once described receiving the key to a small apartment as feeling heavier than gold. It wasn't valuable because of the metal. It was valuable because it represented something many people rarely think about. A door that could finally be locked from the inside. A quiet night's sleep without listening for thunder. And the simple comfort of knowing tomorrow would begin in the same safe place. A city is not measured only by the height of its hotels or the brightness of its lights. It is measured by whether every child has a safe place to sleep. It is measured by whether every parent has a fair chance to rebuild after hardship. And it is measured by whether the people who have fallen furthest behind are still treated with dignity and hope. The families living beneath Las Vegas are not asking for luxury. They are asking for safety. They are asking for opportunity. They are asking for the chance to come back into the light. So before this story ends, we'd like to leave you with one question. If you walked across the Las Vegas Strip tonight, knowing that families were sleeping beneath your feet, what kind of city would you hope future generations choose to build? If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Homeless in America and share this documentary with someone who believes every person deserves to be seen. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Compassion often begins with a conversation, and conversations have the power to inspire action. In this moment, we offer a quiet prayer for every person experiencing homelessness in Las Vegas. May you find safety in the days ahead. May compassionate hands reach out to you with kindness. May every storm pass without taking away your hope. May every child find warmth, peace, and the security of a place to call home. May every parent discover new strength for tomorrow. And may the day come soon when no family has to seek shelter beneath the streets of a city filled with light. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. Until next time, remember this. They are not invisible. They are our neighbors. And every neighbor deserves the chance to come home.